I'm back to Tell the Truth channel. Please like, share this this content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and what other content that y'all go on. I appreciate that very much. I am in Jesus and Jesus is in me. All right. I have another video that I want to play for y'all. And I want y'all to listen to this video. This video is going to tell y'all why God created man. So, I want y'all to listen to this video. Thank y'all for being here and listening to this video because I love y'all. And I want y'all to know what y'all up against. And like I always say, whatever y'all go through, give it to God. Because God is the one can help y'all through everything that y'all go through. Give it to God. So I want y'all to listen to this other video that I'm finna put on. Thank y'all for being here and listening to this video. I love each and every last one of y'all. And that's why I'm doing this. Because God is the one that called me to come here to do this, to help y'all. And I'm honored to be here to help y'all. So, here goes this video that I want y'all to listen to.
Asmodeus was one of the most beautiful and powerful angels that inhabited heaven in the service of God. His name means he who destroys or the poison of God, for he was in charge of executing the divine wrath against the enemies of the light. Asmodeus was faithful and obedient, but also proud and ambitious. His greatest desire was to be the greatest and most admired of all the angels. One day, Asmodeus learned that God had created humans, inferior creatures made of clay, to whom he had given the gift of free will and dominion over the earth. Asmodeus felt jealousy and contempt for the humans, and thought God preferred them over the angels. Asmodeus rebelled against God and joined forces with Lucifer, the light bearer, who had also revolted for the same reason. Asmodeus and Lucifer convinced many other angels to join them, so the heavenly war began. The rebellious angels fought against the loyal angels, and heaven was filled with fire and blood. Asmodeus showed courage and cruelty, killing many of his former companions with his flaming sword. However, the rebellious angels could not overcome the power of God, who expelled them from heaven and cast them into the abyss. Asmodeus fell from above with a cry of pain and rage, and upon reaching hell, his beautiful form was transformed into a monstrous one. His body was covered with scales, his wings became black and membranous, his hands and feet became claws, and his face was deformed into 3 heads, one of a man, one of a bull, and one of a ram. In addition, his left leg was broken when he fell, and since then, he has limps and relies on 2 canes. Asmodeus became one of the princes of hell, and was assigned the sin of lust, for he enjoyed carnal pleasures the most. Asmodeus devoted himself to tempting humans to fall into fornication, adultery, sodomy, incest, bestiality, and other perversions. Asmodeus fell in love with Lilith, the first woman God had created, but who had abandoned Adam for not submitting to him. Lilith had become the queen of demons, and with Asmodeus, she fathered many evil children. Asmodeus also hated humans who remained faithful to God and his commandments, and sought to destroy their marriages and families. Asmodeus became obsessed with Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, a beautiful woman descended from Rachel. Each time Sarah married, Asmodeus killed her husband on their wedding night, preventing them from consummating the marriage. Thus, Sarah lost 7 husbands and earned the reputation of being cursed. But God did not abandon Sarah and sent her Tobiah, the son of Tobit, a righteous and pious man. Tobiah was accompanied by the archangel Raphael, who had disguised himself as a human to help him. Raphael told Tobiah to marry Sarah, and that to get rid of Asmodeus, he should burn the heart, liver, and kidneys of a fish he had caught in the river. Tobiah did as Raphael told him, and the released smoke caused Asmodeus to flee to Egypt, where Raphael put him in chains and subdued him. Thus, Tobiah and Sarah could live happily and have many children. Asmodeus, on the other hand, was trapped and humiliated, swearing revenge against God and against humans. Asmodeus did not remain chained in Egypt for long, for he managed to escape Raphael's vigilance and returned to hell, where he resumed his position as Prince of Demons. There, he learned that King Solomon, the son of David, had received from God the gift of wisdom and power over spirits. Solomon wanted to build a temple in Jerusalem in honor of God. For this, he needed the help of demons with supernatural knowledge and abilities. Solomon had a magic ring given to him by the archangel Michael, which allowed him to summon and control demons. With this ring, Solomon summoned Asmodeus and ordered him to help him build the temple. Asmodeus resisted, but could not disobey the power of the ring. Thus, Asmodeus was forced to work for Solomon, along with other demons, and to reveal to him the secrets of magic and astrology. But Asmodeus was not resigned to his fate and sought revenge on Solomon. Asmodeus knew Solomon had many wives and daughters, some of whom were foreigners and worshipped other gods. Asmodeus took advantage of Solomon's weakness and infiltrated the royal palace, disguised as a man. There, he seduced some of Solomon's wives and enticed them to ask the king to build them altars for their idols. Blinded by love, Solomon acceded to their desires and thus offended God, who took away his favor. Asmodeus also dared to challenge Solomon to his face. One day, Asmodeus appeared before the king and asked him if it was confirmed that he possessed all the wisdom in the world. Solomon replied that he did, and that there was nothing he did not know. Asmodeus told him this was a lie, and that he could teach him something Solomon did not know. Solomon confidently asked him to show him what he knew. Asmodeus told him to lend his ring, and he would prove his knowledge. Solomon unwisely gave him the ring, and at that moment, Asmodeus revealed himself to be the demon he was. They threw Solomon far away from Jerusalem to a place called Tadmor. Asmodeus took Solomon's ring, throne, and kingdom with it. Asmodeus pretended to be Solomon, and no one realized the deception, for the demon perfectly imitated the appearance and voice of the king. Asmodeus ruled in Solomon's place and devoted himself to corrupting and perverting his people, introducing false doctrines and abominable practices. Asmodeus mocked God in his temple and rejoiced in his triumph. Meanwhile, Solomon wandered in the wilderness, not knowing how to regain his ring and kingdom. Solomon repented of his pride and unfaithfulness and asked God for forgiveness. God heard his prayer and sent an angel to show him back to Jerusalem. Solomon arrived in the city and appeared before his subjects. Still, no one recognized him, for they believed that Asmodeus was the faithful Solomon. Solomon was expelled and mistreated and had to live as a beggar. Solomon did not give up and sought a way to unmask Asmodeus. Solomon remembered that Asmodeus had a broken leg, so he limped. Solomon managed to enter the palace and approach the false king sitting on the throne. Solomon told him he had brought a gift and showed him a water basin. Solomon said it was a miraculous water that could cure any disease or wound. Solomon asked him to let him wash his feet with the water, and Asmodeus confidently agreed. Solomon poured the water on Asmodeus's feet, and in doing so, he discovered his broken leg. Solomon cried out that this was not the true king, but a demon impostor. Asmodeus was frightened and tried to escape, but Solomon snatched the ring from him and, with it, his power. Solomon ordered Asmodeus to leave and never to return. Asmodeus fled, and Solomon regained his throne and kingdom. Solomon thanked God for his mercy and resolved to rule justly and mercifully and never again to fall into the temptation of Asmodeus. However, Asmodeus learned that a prodigious child on the island of Britannia possessed the gift of magic and knowledge of the world's secrets. This child was Merlin, the son of a mortal woman and a spirit of the air. Asmodeus saw in Merlin an opportunity to fulfill his plans and decided to approach him. Asmodeus presented himself to Merlin when Merlin was still a teenager and offered him his friendship and help. Asmodeus told him that he was a fallen angel who had been cast out of heaven for rebelling against God's tyranny. Asmodeus told him that he knew the mysteries of creation and that he could teach Merlin to master the forces of nature and use his magic for the good of men. Asmodeus told him that he wanted to restore order and justice to the world and that he needed Merlin's cooperation. Merlin, who was young and naive, was seduced by Asmodeus's words and accepted his proposal. Asmodeus taught Merlin the secrets of alchemy, astrology, divination, invocation, and transmutation. Merlin learned quickly and became a powerful and wise magician. Asmodeus showed himself as a mentor and a friend, but in reality he had other plans. Asmodeus wanted to use Merlin for evil purposes, so he proposed making a pact. Asmodeus told Merlin that if he gave him his soul, he would give him the power to change Britain's destiny and become the advisor to King Arthur, God's chosen one. Asmodeus told Merlin that he could help Arthur unify the kingdom, defend it from invaders, and find the Holy Grail, the sacred chalice containing the blood of Christ. Asmodeus told Merlin that he could be the hero of his time, and that his name would be remembered by history. Ambitious and curious, Merlin was tempted by Asmodeus's offer and about to accept it. But then, he remembered the words of his mother, who had warned him about the danger of demons and who had taught him to love God and respect his will. Merlin realized that Asmodeus was deceiving him and that his pact was a trap. Merlin rejected Asmodeus's proposal and told him he would not give him his soul nor serve him in his plans. Asmodeus was furious and told Merlin that he would regret his decision and suffer the consequences. Asmodeus told Merlin that he would make his life miserable and put obstacles and enemies in his way. Asmodeus told Merlin that he would make her fall into disgrace and take away everything she loved. Asmodeus told Merlin that he would make him die alone and forgotten, and that his soul would be his anyway. Asmodeus turned away from Merlin, and from then on became his adversary. Asmodeus tried to carry out his threats and thwart Merlin and Arthur's plans. Asmodeus used his power and cunning, and the help of other demons and witches, to cause trouble and strife in Britain. Asmodeus tried sedating Arthur's wife, Guinevere, and Arthur's half-sister Morgana. Asmodeus provoked the betrayal of Lancelot, Arthur's best knight, and the rebellion of Mordred, Arthur's bastard son. Asmodeus sowed discord and war and sought the destruction of Arthur's kingdom. But Merlin was not to be defeated by Asmodeus, and he stood up to him with his magic and wisdom. Merlin helped Arthur to overcome the difficulties and to fulfill his mission. Merlin guided Arthur to the sword Excalibur, the magic sword that gave him the power to be the rightful king of Britain. Merlin formed the Knights of the Round Table, a group of noble warriors who swore allegiance to Arthur and his cause. Merlin began the quest for the Holy Grail, the symbol of Christian faith and hope. Merlin did not give his soul to Asmodeus, nor did he serve him in his plans. Merlin loved God and respected his will. Merlin died alone and forgotten, but his soul was free and blessed. Asmodeus, a figure known since ancient times, has been reinterpreted throughout history, adapting to different cultures and eras. He began as a fearsome character in ancient tales, a being of great power and mystery in legends and sacred texts. Over time, this figure has been transformed, acquiring new nuances and meanings in literature and art. In theology and philosophy, Asmodeus has been a means to explore themes such as evil and temptation, and how these concepts interact with people's decisions and lives.
Now, thank y'all for listening to this video. This video is talking about how God had created us. How he created man first and how all of this started out. All of this wickedness and evilness that's going on out here in the world. Why all of this started out. And y'all got to understand that this is the reason why God is here. Because he wants to stop all of this And he want to bring the light in and get rid of the darkness, because the darkness is trying to keep all of this going on, and God don't want it to go on. Even if he had to destroy every darkness in this world, that's what he's going to do, because that's why he's here. He heard y'all cries, and he out here to help y'all through everything that y'all called on him for. So this is why I'm showing y'all these videos, because this is what God is about to do to these darkness, because he's tired of it. He tired of all of this is going on, and he's about to shut it down. So thank y'all for listening to this video. I love y'all. Jesus love y'all. Father love y'all. The Holy Ghost, the angels, the ancestors, and I love y'all. And I will be back to talk to y'all again soon. Y'all have a good day and a blessed day.